So if you're among those Texans tired of government-mandated jet lag twice a year, legislation proposes an end to daylight savings time. This is Monday, January 6th, 2025.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State. The Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Welcome into Monday. Thanks for starting your week off with the Texas Minute. A new report has analyzed thousands of misconduct complaints lodged against public school employees. How many of them have gone uninvestigated will probably make you mad. More on that coming up. The deadly New Year's Day attack in New Orleans, where a Houston man drove into a crowd of holiday revelers, has left Texas' largest city reeling and raising urgent questions about security and radical Islamic terrorist cells. With the Chevron Marathon set to bring more than 30,000 people to downtown Houston in just over 2 weeks, officials there are under pressure to ensure the safety of participants and spectators alike. Among other things, experts expect that the city will restrict vehicle traffic in key areas around the race course. Last year, the State Fair of Texas banned the possession of all firearms, including those carried by concealed permit license holders. The action drew the ire of more than 70 members of the Texas House and legal action from Attorney General Ken Paxton. The Texas Supreme Court ultimately sided with the State Fair and upheld their ban. But now, Republican State Representative Briscoe Cain of Deer Park has drafted legislation requiring contracts with the use of property owned or leased by a governmental entity to include a provision prohibiting contractors from restricting handgun license holders from carrying firearms on the property. In other words, the State Fair of Texas would no longer be able to prevent CHL holders from carrying their weapons. Exceptions are made in Cain's proposal if other laws specifically prohibit the carrying of handguns on a particular kind of property. Republican State Senator Mays Middleton of Galveston wants to exempt the Lone Star State from daylight savings time. Meanwhile, other lawmakers have filed competing proposals to establish daylight savings time year-round. By way of background, the Uniform Time Act of 1966 established the modern implementation of daylight savings time. The federal law allowed states to opt out of it if they chose to do so. Arizona has taken advantage of that option since 1968. Hawaii also doesn't practice daylight savings. In 2023, the Texas House voted 138-5 to have daylight savings time year-round rather than eliminate it. However, that measure died in a Senate committee. President-elect Donald Trump has said he wants to either permitize or eliminate daylight savings time at the federal level, describing the whole clock-changing routine as, quote, inconvenient. The Texas Minute will be right back.
Ever wonder where the money from the Texas Lottery really goes? Spoiler alert. The lion's share isn't going to education. In fact, the lottery only funds about 2 or 3 days of public education every year. In Season 9 of Exposed, we break down how lawmakers sold the lottery to Texas voters, how the system was stacked against low-income players from day one. From rigged lottery jackpots to corporate scandals, the Texas Lottery's past is full of corruption, a trend that continues today. Tune in to Exposed, Gateway Drug, and uncover the truth about what's really happening behind the scenes.
Episodes available January 7th.
Thousands of Texas teachers and school staff have been accused of victimizing students over the past few years. That's according to official reports received by the state and reviewed by an education advocacy group. Texas Education 911 recently analyzed more than 11,000 educator misconduct reports that were submitted by school administrators to the Texas Education Agency between September 2021 and June 2024. By far the largest number of reports, some 39% of them accused teachers of committing violent acts against children. Another 26% of the reports were for sexual misconduct or improper relationship between educators and students. But here's the real kicker. According to the records, 74% of the reports were never investigated by the TEA. You can find the details of this story and the others mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was produced by Nick Shepard and based on the original reporting of Michael Wilson, Emily Medeiros, Luca Cacciatore, and Aaron Anderson. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the first news of the day for the Lone Star State. This has been the Texas Minute with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.